Hi, I'm Isabelle Trapp. I use she, her. I'm a senior theater major and I'm the director of Measure for Measure.
Hi, I'm Allie Linzer. I'm a junior. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm stage managing Measure for Measure, and my majors are tech theater and public relations.
Hi, so I'm Mia Brown. I am a second year here at Xavier and I am a psychology major.
Cool.
Oh, and I am an ASM on Measure for Measure.
Hi, my name is JD Hofacker. I use he, they pronouns. I am a first year theater tech major and I am one of the assistant stage managers for Measure for Measure.
Hi, I'm David Ludwig. I am the lighting designer for Measure for Measure.
Hi, I'm Anna Colley. I'm a junior theater education major. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the sound designer of Measure for Measure.
Hi, my name is Grace Cacavery. I use she, her pronouns. I am a junior theater major here at Xavier, and I am set designer for Measure for Measure.
Hi, I'm Hannah Richardson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a first year here at Xavier. I'm a musical theater major.
And I'm Brooklyn Duncan. I'm also a first year musical theater major. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And we're props designers.
We're co-prom designing the show.
Hi, I'm Anna Snyder. I'm a senior musical theater major and I am the costume designer for Measure for Measure.
I'm Carter. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am the costume designer's assistant and a theater major.
So for Xavier, this is pretty different from the shows I've worked on, but in terms of my non-Xavier work, I'm actually pretty familiar with this because it's a body of my peers and I do a lot of poor theater, so that's really kind of my bread and butter, and it's been really nice to be in control of a room.
This production's been really great to be on. I really appreciated being in a fully student-run production. I feel like everyone's been able to contribute ideas equally.
I would say Isabelle and Allie, our director and stage manager, have definitely made this a super safe process.
Everybody has put in so much work and so much time and energy into the show, and it's turned out really well.
This process has been really different because it's my first time as an actual designer, but also it has a lot of creative freedom and I feel like it's a really collaborative environment.
Designing for props has been really different. You get to take a step back and kind of look at the production concept, and you get to play a major part in what gets seen and what gets done on stage. And I find it really interesting and I honestly really love it.
So I've actually worked as an assistant and associate costume designer many times in the past, so it's been really exciting this time getting to be in charge of it all, and I was super ready to take this jump and I'm very excited I got the opportunity.
This is my first time on the designer side of the table, and it was so cool to see everything come together and see how things changed when we got in the room.
Well, I've always been a storyteller. I've always wanted to be a storyteller in some form or another. I found that the best way, I love pulling strings and I love setting up moments, and so I found that the best way to do that in theater was directing.
I really like the idea of getting to work with a ton of different people and a ton of different kinds of people, and so I love the fact that I'm kind of a communication liaison between a lot of different areas of the show.
I've been wanting to do tech at Xavier for a long time, and I finally found a process that I was really drawn to. I've always loved Shakespeare and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
So when I realized that a lot of my friends were also auditioning for the show, it gave me the idea to be assistant stage manager and experience that journey with them.
So I took a lighting design class my sophomore year that ended up with me doing some light board operator stuff and some lighting design stuff for smaller theater company projects that we did during COVID. So when Steven texted Joe Mitchell and I and asked if we'd be interested, I said of course.
I thought it'd be cool to create the world of the play. Sound can really build environment, get the audience introduced to what the play is going to feel like, and it's a way to express creativity while also blending in technical skills.
Of my experience working in the costume shop, and I love clothes, I love fashion, and it was super fun to get to do that in a creative, artistic way.
And I love clothes in general as well, and I've not gotten the opportunity to adapt that to theater, and it was so fun to finally get that opportunity.
But I was actually supposed to direct the show way back in 2019 when I was a little baby freshman for my production company, Queen Maps Players, and then COVID hit. And so learning that I was going to direct a show my senior year, I was like, wow, I gotta choose something. But I actually didn't think of doing Measure for Measure until it was Stephen, when I was struggling to find a show, suggested cutting a Shakespeare, because everybody knows me here as the Shakespeare queen, because I am. And so we narrowed it down to 2, and then I got attached to Measure. And I was like, what if I cut it myself? And he was like, go for it. I'll say the most challenging so far has been tech, mostly because, as I said, I'm from Port Theater, so I don't do a lot of technical elements, and so communicating that has been definitely something that's been difficult for me.
Making sure that everyone's been on the same page in what's going on, especially with 2 other shows going on at the same time.
Because I haven't done theater in 2 years. And so relearning a whole new process, learning how to work in this, not company, but this group of people. It's always difficult to find your role in the beginning.
Understanding better the hardware that goes into it. I'm in sound design class right now, so as part of the class, we built a whole sound plot. So we put in the speakers and plugged everything into the board, and then set up the board. So that's been cool to get a better understanding of that.
All of the things I have had to think about as a set designer and being a worker in the shop has been helpful, because I have a kind of a basic understanding of what shop drawings are and how to build the things that I want to think of. But also that has been probably some of the most challenging parts, is that you do need to think about, how do I make this idea from my head structurally sound? What materials do I need? What angles do I need to cut them at? Especially for this set, I had a lot of intricate designs for mine.
Dyeing all of the letters that you see. To make the paper look more vintage, you have to dye it with tea bags and with coffee grounds, and it's a really long and messy process, and it took forever, but seeing them on stage, they look really, really nice.
Another challenging aspect was making the head, because Claudio's head gets chopped off. Spoiler alert!
So the most challenging thing has definitely been adapting. Whenever you get in the room, there's little things that come up that you have to change at the last minute. But
The most rewarding, I think, has just been really building an ensemble with this cast. It's been really lovely to see us go from, yes, peers, but also peers that weren't necessarily that close to each other, to what I could say is really close friends. It's nice.
The most rewarding thing is to be able to see everyone in the show thrive and see the safe community that we've all built as a company, and to see the other shows succeed too.
And kind of figuring out oh, okay, this is my role, this is what I can do, and feeling really proud of what I put into it.
And I think the most rewarding thing about this process is seeing all of my friends being super passionate about what they're doing, giving 100%.
It's also been cool to work with Emma Halloran, who's the sound designer, for Gruesome Playground Injuries. This is her first time sound designing, so I've kind of gotten to show her how everything works, which has been one of my favorite parts of this process, is getting to help someone else get their feet wet with sound designing as well.
Seeing the entire set come together these past few nights in tech, seeing the lights catch the curtains that I had to order from 2 different Joann fabrics has felt amazing. Seeing my designs seeing the gold filigree that I painted on the frames glow in the dark in certain scenes has just been, it's beautiful. And just to think to myself, I did that came from my head, and now it's right in front of me. And to think that I did it when I honestly a couple weeks ago did not think that I would be able to, and did not honestly feel qualified to do it. So the fact that I'm able to look at my work and think that I did it and I can do it has been extremely gratifying.
The most rewarding part of it is seeing it on stage,
Yeah.
because everything looks beautiful exactly how we wanted it to.
the rewarding part is adapting to what is going on and making the actors feel comfortable, confident, and ready to perform to the best of their ability.
And the best part about it is seeing their reactions to the costumes on the first day. And everyone's just like, I love it. I love your costume. I love those costumes. It's just a great thing.